Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Sakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. If you see, I am showing two pictures, two books. So these courts, this class, a series of class requested for the benefit of the new devotees, is what I thought was we can do it in two levels. One level is for children mainly, and then for others as well. It's like an intermediate. So remember, I really started writing a book called Beyond All Religions. So there, if you see, there are questions. See here now, yes, on the left side you see questions. There are 27 questions. These are all coming from children and also new devotees who really want to know, who are we and what is all this about Krishna consciousness, etc., etc. So these 27 questions can be basis that we can take probably maybe 2-3 questions at a time or something. And then after that we can also read from the book that is Vaishnava Siddhantamala that I showed you. So to start with, this is typically how everybody will actually start. The very first question what is coming here is, who is God? So because many people really wants to especially with the background, that they don't know much about this spiritual truths, they will ask this question. And also, while the atheists, they argue that there is no God. So everyone believes that there is some power beyond our control. So that they agree. So the questions about God naturally comes from us, from what we see from the nature and ourselves. Because so many things are coming, sun, moon, this, and morning, nights, so many things are happening which we did not create. We do not know anything about how it all happened. Because we see amazing creations with nature and so many species, we do not even know, more details, and the scientists are finding out so many details about, and they are finding more and more creatures that they did not see before. So this is how they go. And some other people think, oh, God is not visible to us. We are not able to see God. So they assume that, oh, okay, then God has no form. Okay, this is another category that is coming. Because if they say if God exists, then they should have a form. But the fact is, nothing can happen without a cause. There must be someone with the intelligence behind. See, that is the intelligence behind, and that is why what we are seeing is a effect from that intelligence. So from the Vedic wisdom, with what we really hear, that everything comes from the Supreme God, right? And also he has like a president or like a king who has ministers. The same way, the Supreme God also has his own ministers. They are called demigods. Demi means of, or kind of gods. Not real supreme, but God. They have some power to really manage something, like the ministers under the king. And that God is spiritual. Because he is spiritual, not material, we cannot see him. So this is the thing. And in fact, in this world, there are a lot of dimensions. What do dimensions mean? We are seeing so many planets and stars and these and all those things are in one dimension. But above our dimension is called, this is Bhuloka, then you have Bhuvarloka. So Bhuvarloka is the place where the dead persons, ancestors, they all will be lingering there before they are dispatched to heaven or hell or to be born again. So they are the Bhuvarloka. Like that, there are 14 levels of in this world, which we don't see. Then God is way beyond all these dimensions, so many galaxies and this. So in our universe, there are 14 planes. We are in one plane. The remaining planes we don't have even access to see. For example, the ghosts and the dead ancestors, our grandfather, grandmother, whatever that already died. They are all there in Bhuvarloka. And then they may be putting in heaven and hell, etc. But way beyond all these things, beyond all the material senses, is the God. And because we are now in the material world, we cannot see him. Okay, this is basically how we have to understand. Just because something is invisible, we cannot conclude, that it's not there. You see, for example, around us, air is there. Air is there. Just because we are not able to see the air, doesn't mean there is no air. It doesn't work like that. For example, take the milk. In the milk, there is ghee. But that ghee, we cannot see the ghee. We see only milk. But isn't it that nobody can say that, there is no ghee in the milk. You cannot say, just because it's not there. But what you do? You really boil the milk and churn it to find that out. Then similarly, we can find out that God, who is actually everywhere in spiritual form, only by spiritual practice we can find the God. So who is this God is the question. So God is the one who is having all the opulences. He has all the strength, all the fame. He is the most famous, most beautiful, most knowledgeable, and also renunciation. So there are, in the Vedic wisdom, these are the 6 things that is mentioned. Aishwarya, opulence, Virya, strength, and then Sri means beauty, Jnana, knowledge, and Vairagya is renunciation. God he is completely renounced. He does not have any material attachment like we have. But however, we should also understand that the Bhagavan also expands into many manifestations, full and partial. That include the demigods. So like we all came from God, and the demigods also came from God. But then when all these 6 qualities that I mentioned, one of the expansions where his opulence, Aishwarya, is very predominant, is Lord Narayana. It is also Krishna only. But Krishna is manifesting that way. So like this, so many expansions are there. And Bhagavan, Sri Krishna, that is Swayam Bhagavan, is said to be the ultimate supreme Bhagavan Krishna. Okay? So he is situated in his eternal spiritual form that cannot be seen from our material eyes or perception. So basically we are inside the well, and we are trying to see, guess, how the sea will be, and sea and all those things we cannot see, right? It's like suppose a frog is caught inside the well, and it is trying to think, how the well, somebody is saying, there is a well, but how can he find the well? He cannot. So like that, we are in the material, the covering. So because of that, our eyes, our sense, our brain, our intelligence, everything is material. So we cannot perceive God. So that does not mean there is no God. How will you find out there is there is God? And he is high disciples, high devotees, rishis, and they're all very high because they're always seeing God all the time. They come down and then tell us. It is like, suppose, a bird who has really seen the sea, the ocean. He is coming to the well and looking at the frog in the well and saying that, hey, by the way, there is, this is ocean is there. There is ocean. But the frog may say, no, I don't believe in the ocean because I don't see that. Okay, this is what our situation. We have to understand. So then how will we really find out that who is that? Where is he? Who is that? This is what every religion is telling, the same thing only. Many religions are there. All the religions are telling one way or other. There are 200 religions in this world, right? And if you see, and for example, you take Christianity, right? There, out of these 200 religions in the world, there are famous religions are, Christianity, Islam, like that. So they have different ways of, thinking about God, because it's very difficult. Because somebody is explaining, it's not that everybody can understand the same way as who is talking about. So here Jesus Christ is saying, I am the son of my, God. Son of God, he says. But if we see the whole Bible, you don't have any information about who is that Father. What is the name of the Father? In the hidden way only, they are all mentioned there. He's all talking about, I came here to tell you there is God. And I am really, he's my Father. And then, but no information. So these religions are actually trying to understand who is God in various ways. But can they actually understand for sure in 100% correct? Not possible. For that you have to take what? You have to do some process. You have to spiritualize yourself. So what that means is, because now we are all material, like the frog in the well, we are all fallen inside the well. And we don't know anything about the ocean that is around, that is out there. The same way. And that the parrot is telling, that bird is telling the frog, hey, frog, you are in the well, you cannot see the ocean, but there is ocean. This is how the ocean looks like. It has, salt water or this thing. So he is trying to describe. The same way, the saints also, because even the saints are also in different levels. So those saints who are coming from different levels will tell about, God is such and such. He is like this, he is like that. One of them is, they say, that is called the Advaitas. They say, God has no form, he is spiritual. Yes, he has no form. He has a spiritual form, which we cannot understand. It's not saying that God has no form. He has spiritual form. Okay? And the Buddhi says that, there is nothing there at all. Because that is like a kind of a frog saying, no, there is no ocean. So that is Buddhist. We came from nothing and we'll go back to the nothing. This is their concept of, that is Buddhism. So like that, different religions are telling different ways about the same one God. God is only one. Isn't it? But they now, because they are not able to to know the ultimate truth as how God looks like, they are coming with some theories and they form different sects and religions, and they say, Krishna is a Hindu God, then Allah is a Mohammedan God, and they have some Christian God there on. This is some name they gave. Jehovah or something they gave. And the Jews also, they say that. Jews, they say their God is, actually that name is actually very coinciding to our Krishna. That their God is said to be what? Kannaya. Who is Kannaya? Yashoda Maya always calls Krishna as Kannaya. But they don't know. So these are all partial understanding of the real God. Okay? So this is what it is. Then also, Krishna's, comes here every time, yuga after yuga he comes. In human form. Like a human-like form, but he's not a human actually. Human-like form. Like, for example, 5,000 years ago, he came here in the Dwapar Yuga, 5,000 years ago, Lord Krishna came. And he was the one who also fought the Bhagavad Gita, he also taught the Bhagavad Gita, and he was the one behind this big Mahabharata war. And in the Bhagavad Gita also he is telling about him. But not everybody could understand. He says, you may be able to count all the atoms in the entire cosmic creation, but you will never be able to know about me. See, he himself says. Why is that? That's why I was telling about. Cow will be able to understand if we are like the frog. We have no way of seeing outside. And not only that, he is also saying, I have so many holy names. I am my glories, my holy names, and about me, nobody can find out. Unless I give him the power to know me, nobody can see me. Nobody can see at all. So that's why he is saying Bhagavad Gita. Even though, look at here, nobody can actually find me by their own way, their own intelligence, because our intelligence is material intelligence. This intelligence is we know only about the material things around us, right? Suppose we were born in some other planetary system, where instead of here it is carbon based. Suppose that planetary system is silicon based maybe. I'm just telling an example. Right? Our body is carbon centered. All this is organic. It's an organic material. Right? CHO. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. But then suppose some other planetary system, and there the people are made of different elements, for example. Then your understanding about your intelligence will be according to that. So like this, different dimensions, those being the souls who are residing in those different dimensions, which we cannot see, they will have different intelligence. Ours is the material intelligence about our universe only. That also problem. Look at here. Webb telescope and everything they are trying to send. It's bizarre. Now they have found out there are living. There are people living somewhere. So now also Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, even though you cannot understand me, you cannot know me, I can give some knowledge to you so that you can know me. But for that you have to surrender to me. Why? Why you have to surrender? You can ask, why don't you really show me just like that? Why should I surrender? Only when we surrender, our heart becomes pure. And then this power, with the power can be to be imposed in that heart so that we can see him. So first, you are not clean. The mirror is not clean. How can you see yourself? The mirror is not clean. That mirror, cleaning the mirror is basically all we are talking about is sadhana karo, sadhana karo, sadhana karo. He is telling the same thing. We just talked about that. You get a guru, and then after that, he will instruct you what to chant, how to do the sadhana. Then by that, you will slowly come to know about me, and eventually you will know me completely. So, even for Arjuna, Mother Yashoda, and also for other high devotees, he has shown his form. But when they saw in different perspective of the form. Okay, that is another thing again. So, Krishna can be shown in different ways. They want to see. So, what Arjuna saw was the creation Leela. How he is behind all the creations. But above that is even higher dimension is there. But then, that comes into another question is he God just doing everything? Or he is also having some ministers with him? I mentioned, he's not alone, like a king. He has his own ministers. So like that, Supreme God, in this case Krishna, is also having so many ministers. And he has created unlimited Brahmanda. What is Brahmanda? Means universes. So many universes. And they are combined in galaxies. And the galaxies are combined in clusters. And the clusters are combined in supercluster. They are all recorded, all mentioned in our Vedic scriptures very nicely. Okay? And we are in one Brahmanda, one universe, where we have one Brahma, Lord Brahma, who is the creator God. So when Jesus Christ is saying that my God, he actually created this earth and everything, who is that God he is actually referring to? It may not be Krishna. Krishna is the ultimate. But he may be really referring to Lord Brahma, who is really bringing all these so many plants and vegetations and creatures, animals and everything. He is a secondary creator. But the primary creator is what? The souls is Krishna. That also not directly. His expansion is Mahavishnu, and from the Mahavishnu is the one who is creating all these the Brahmandas from his hair pores. That means you can see how big Lord Mahavishnu is. And now take only our Brahmanda. In our Brahmanda, there are so many ministers. In the government, let us say, maybe 500 MPs, in India. Or here, whatever it is, 200, 300, 400, ministers maybe. For our Brahmanda, that is not sufficient. In our Brahmanda, there are 330 million ministers are there. And out of them, there is one, again seniority is there, Then Ishvara, see there are Devas, then Ishwaras, and then Parameshwaras, and then Parameshwar. Parameshwar means all the above, all the Ishwaras. So who are these? They are all Devas. Devas mean demigods. 330 million are there, all working for Krishna. Then, out of these 330 million demigods, there will be different groups. And one leader is Lord Shiva. And he is the one who really makes, at the end, he destroys this world so that it can be recreated again. Okay, that is called creation Leela by Krishna. It's all by his will. But who is doing the creation Leela? Lord Brahma is doing it. So he is a Ishvara. Ishvara. So, like that, there are so many departments, and these departments are actually having so many ministers under. They are Devas. Who is maintaining our Brahmanda is Vishnu. Vishnu. When we say Vishnu, this is what the Vishnu they normally mean. So this is how the Brahmandas are running, and to manage that is the gods we talk about. Many religions are confused about the ultimate supreme God. Because as I mentioned, this Jesus Christ was telling, my God created. He really took 6 days to create all this earth. Then 7th day, he really, on the Sunday, he just took rest. What does it mean? Is it mean Krishna actually? No. Krishna does not do all this. Krishna is above all those. So Krishna is above all those, but those demigods are the one who are doing this creation, destruction, maintenance, and all those things are either the demigod or the expansions of Krishna is doing it. This heaven, so-called heaven, everybody is saying, I want to go to heaven, I want to go to heaven, heaven. That's what they are singing. Where is the heaven? It is not Krishna's place. Krishna's place is not heaven. Heaven means a soul is going to enjoy it for themselves, for their good deeds. Suppose they did some good thing, good karma, then they will go to heaven. This is what the religions are normally. This is what we are talking about is not that religions at all. What we are talking about is above all these religions. That is why in the title it's saying beyond all religions. In fact, we do not belong to any religion. We do not even belong to Hinduism. We know we are not Hindus or demigod worshippers. They worship, Shiva, Shakti, Durga, these Ganesh, that is Hinduism. We have nothing to do with the Hinduism. We are always to with Krishna, with the Supreme Bhagavan. Above everything, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha. See, I told about Devas. Then after that, I talked about Ishvara. Then Maheshwara. In fact, Lord Shiva is Maheshwara, means head of those Ishwaras. And Maheshwara, above Maheshwara is that is Parameshwara. That is Krishna. He is nothing to do with, creating these, creating that. He only thinks, hey, I want to have some creations. And Mahavishnu then does everything. Krishna is playing. He is in Goloka Vrindavan happily dancing there, wandering by there, he is enjoying. Because he is the owner of everything. Isn't it? Bhagavad Gita, he says, he owns everything. So owner, what will do? Owner, do you think a owner of the company will be working like a workman? Taking nuts and bolts and repairing things and producing things? No. Because if you see where the CEO of a company will be, he will be in the golf club. Golf. He will be playing golf. But who is running his company? His subordinates will be running the company. Isn't it? All those vice presidents and and directors and managers, they will run it. So the CEO only will, yes, I want, this is my dream. Okay, this is the one. So like that, Lord Krishna had a dream for some creation for some time. And he can say, no, now I am done. Because for example, he's like a child. He's playing. Because he is Supreme God. His play is, this is the creation Leela we call. And here, if you really think more detail, what does a child do? Suppose the child is taken to the beach, and you have the beach sand, and the child starts to create something. And there are people are also helping to build a castle or whatever, and nicely. And at the end, okay, now the child says, okay, now I am bored, I want to go home. What does he do? Add beautiful castle, created, he just gives a kick with his leg. And castle is finished. Becomes sand again. This is destruction. So he is playing the Leela. And we are all part of that. Why? How? We all came from Krishna only. We all belong to Krishna only. But the problem is we are distracted by our own material desire. That's a different topic altogether. So talking about the demigods, I talked about 14 levels in our universe, which the 330 million gods are there. And that is what you see in this picture. You see, there are 14 levels. And right in the middle is our earth is there now. We are living there now. See, 14 levels of planetary systems there. Okay. And now, if you really see some other picture, here it is even talking more clearly. More clearly. Actually, I have the picture right here, right there behind me too. That's what the photo that you are seeing. So now look at the complexity now. Very complex. And God is, Krishna is way above means way above. I think that's what I was putting that in the, okay, I didn't really put that picture. He's way above means way above. So this we have to understand. Okay. So what are the questions again? Who is God? Okay, that we talked about. Then what was the second thing what was the second question that we talked about was? Okay, first one was, who is God? Oh, that's what we are going through. Okay, still it is not done that. All right. And another question is, who created God? This is very, very intelligent question actually. Because when we are talking about creation, then God also must have some root cause. Who created the God? This is kind of a catch-22 situation. But if you see the thing in detail more, okay, listen to me. Supreme God was never created by anyone. But these questions, why does the question comes? Because we are under control of his material creations that has a time and space dimension. Remember, you have a graph paper, right? You have x coordinate, then there is a y coordinate, right? We really draw a graph there, graph, right, children? You must have done the graph. It has 2 dimensions, right? Length and width. Now the third dimension is something that is the space. That is called 3 dimension. So 3 dimension, correct? The 3 dimension means, yes, now that is what the world is. World, what we see is 2 dimension. Suppose an ant is really looking at some picture. Yeah, and it's going over a picture. It is seeing 2 dimension only. It cannot see 3 dimension because of the nature. But that's just a rough comparison. So like that, we are in the 3 dimension, and we are thinking that everything will be like this. Then there is a 4th dimension which we are subjected to, but that we can only feel by our senses is time. In the spiritual world, there is no space problem. There is no time concept at all. Spiritual world. That means this creation has really come down from the spiritual realm, which doesn't have a space or time dimension. How to understand this? How to understand this? This is very difficult to understand. Because like the frog, we are in the material realm. Because we are entrapped in this material world, which is actually a part of creation, we cannot understand beyond this creation. So that is why we are asking the question, who created God? But when we know, after all the sadhana and practices, that eventually when we understand God is beyond all these material dimensions, then we will realize in sadhana, not sadhana, in samadhi, that's what samadhi means. Remember big rishis, they're all in samadhi. They just sit there, then completely their body will, the consciousness will stop, the material consciousness will stop. But they are now mingling in the spiritual dimension, no time. It will be keep on going on. When they come back, then they will be again subjected to the same time, whatever that has relapsed. So it is very difficult to understand. So that means, that's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, if you want to understand the spiritual dimension, how it is always present tense, no past, no, see, that's why there's no time means what? Right now we say, oh, yesterday, today and tomorrow. Last year, this year and the next year. But that is only in this world, material world. But in the spiritual world, nothing there. No time, no space. So basically space and time constraints are not there at all. So time tending to zero. Remember when you do integration? When you do integration, those seniors, what you put? You put the expression and time tending to zero. The same way you have expression, the expression here again, this space also, S also tending to zero. That what you get is spiritual dimension. Beyond Kala, beyond this ether or sky. Okay, so now you really try to get this information only from those who have realized it. And they are the ones, Maharishis have documented it. Because they witness, they are always there. And because for our sake, they wrote these Vedas, Upanishads, and also Puranas, and also Idikasa, so many scriptures they wrote. And they're all talking about that God, Supreme God, and the demigods also. And they always say, God has no beginning and no ending. Thus, God was always existing and God is always existing. God will be always existing again. There is no beginning, there is no ending. That is called no Adi. Anadi. Adi means beginning. Anadi means no beginning. That is why what is said in the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Paramakrishna, which I told the sloka, Ishvara Paramakrishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadi. He has no beginning. Anadi. But he is the source for everything. He is the source for Kala also. He is the source for this dimension also. And in fact, you have to even go further. This world is 3-dimension. Our universe is 3-dimension. Yes. I know, actually 4-dimension. Sorry, 3-dimension we are seeing. 4th dimension is perception. So that is a time concept. So there are 4 dimensions here. But if you go beyond our universe and go to some other system, there will be different dimensions. In fact, I gave Harikathas about multiple dimensions. So yeah, so many views happened in fact. And in fact, some through lot of scientific, the scientific reasoning, then mathematics modeling, they have come to up to 12 or 22 two dimensions. That was what I was actually talking about. So when you conquer these dimensions, you can actually conquer the time and also the space. So that is why these people are really trying to make movies and everything beyond time, right? What is it called? Beyond. There is another movie, famous movie, right? Yeah, Beyond Time. So those kind of concepts are actually there. Somehow they are getting it, but it is true. Multiple dimensions are there. You can go back to the future also. And also you can go back to the past. You can go to the future also. That is what those multiple dimensions that the Harikatha I gave. It's not a Harikatha, it is a scientific Katha, actually, based on all these things. So anyway, in a nutshell, what we really hear is, who created God is having a fault in the question. Because creation itself is, the whole concept of creation itself is coming from him only. He does not have anything to do with the creation. He is the one who is cause of this creation. And also not directly. He only wishes. His expansions does the creation work. So in Jesus Christ, whatever he was talking about, this my God created this Lord Brahma only. We are not even going more than that. So that is very primitive. And in fact, because like what is the name again? The Paramahamsa, the Swami Vivekananda's guru. So he used to go to this kind of dimension, spiritual dimension. He used to travel. Like so many, the astral travel, anything that you can do. So when he has really once went to the Brahmaloka, he has witnessed, he has seen Jesus Christ there as the son of that Lord Brahma. That is why Jesus Christ is also mentioned as Isha Putra. Putra means son. Isha means Isha is a name for the Lord Brahma. He's a Ishvara. Isha means Ishvara of this creation. So it is clearly saying they are talking only about the creation God. They are not talking about Krishna, no. But later when Jesus Christ, for the missing 12 years of his time in the Bible, he was in India, he was associating with sadhus and rishis. He learned about all the spiritual thing. He heard about Krishna. And he wanted to put Krishna's name as one of his, something he wanted to attach. So in his language, Krishna is translated to Christo. That is in the Hebrews. Hebrews, Christos mean Krishna, which means all attractive. So now he put the last name. And that is why Jesus Christ came. Christ is nothing but Christos, which is the name of Krishna. He learned about Krishna. He was in Vrindavan. Records are there now. And he was in Jagannath Puri for 6 years. And he had some problem. Then he went to Kashmir. And there he really learned from some this is all I am not saying. The scholars are saying now evidences are coming out. Okay, now you listen to this same question again. Who created God? We cannot ask this question because a frog is asking the question of saying, how the ocean, why ocean is not there or something, how the ocean happened. That's another thing again, because he does not even know anything about it. So spiritual world is beyond space and time that I am talking about. Then how can you understand the spiritual world? How can you understand Samadhi? chanting and meditation, chanting and meditation, chanting and meditation. Eventually, you will be going above this material concept. All your indriyas will be completely silenced. You will close these indriyas and open up the spiritual eyes. That spiritual eyes is supposed to be there right here. There is a gland. What is the thing called? Some pineal gland or some gland is there, which is actually having connection to the spiritual dimension. Remember all these, all the night and all, people are really having astral travel, right? Dreams, going to different places. That all happening through that media only. You are connecting. You are actually going out of the body. The subtle body goes out. And without you even knowing much about it. Because you are going with some knowledge. You know it. But when you come back to the body again, it just gets deformed. Noise is added. So then you say, hey, I dreamed like this. I saw here. But actually, you went there. So that is why people in Tibet, there is one book written by Lobsang Ramba. Yeah, I used to read his book a lot. So he's the one who teaches how we can even programmatically, systematically by practice, just relax, lie on a bed and then go through that procedure. You can lift up your soul out of the body and you can go with intelligence and ego, everything. With that is why the procedure is necessary. Then you can really see everything there. But there is one thing. How the subtle body is connected to us, to this body, is is called silver cord. The silver cord is something which we cannot see. Why the soul is connected to the body? Through the silver cord. And what is death? Death means that silver cord is cut off. When the silver cord is cut off, then you cannot get back. That is a death. Death time means that is severed. But this astral travel is something that you are actually going by your own will. And silver cord is because it is spiritual, it elongates. You can go to some millions and millions of miles. You can travel to the planets, different planets, different worlds. But still the silver cord will be extending like a rubber band. Infinite rubber band it will. But then when the dream is just breaking, within a fraction of a second, you will be back again, drawn back again inside the body. And now you say, oh, I have seen this dream. Okay, so these are all the spiritual world. So I am talking about the semi-spiritual world is that astral travel. But again, in a nutshell, by our body and with our intelligence and our everything, we are covered by these dimensions, these 4 dimensions that we are in. That is why we are thinking about somebody, if there is a God, who created that. So this is coming from ignorance actually. But it looks like an intelligent question. But more and more, if you really go spiritually, digressing into that, you will understand that it has no value. Because there is nothing like these kind of things in the spiritual world. Okay. So that is the first part. Okay. Now what we'll do is, now every day, every class, this is easy thing, right? It's an easy thing. We covered only 2 questions from that book. Okay. And these informations are there summarized to some extent. Because if I put everything there, the book will become like big, very big. But these lectures will be actually adding value to you all listening, so that you can understand. Because children will love to ask questions. The same way now we are coming to the second part. We may probably take only 1 question because we started late. But let us see how much we can go. So now I'm talking about this Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. Okay. This Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala was actually, it was just, written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and our Gurudev has really taken this small book. It's a small book only, very small. If you see that, the dimension, if you see, it's a very small book. But every chapter is only about 4 or 5 questions, some chapter only 2 questions like that. But why I chose this one is, what is the goal of these particular classes? Is to give enough strength and knowledge for the new coming devotees who have not started fully in our line. This is the very first class, so I am giving very first basic foundation. As we keep on going, then we will understand all these Guru Sampradayas and Guru Paramparas and where we are and how we are connected and what should we do in order to really make use of this opportunity and to really surrender to a Guru. And that was the previous class. We did one. And then by surrendering, what exactly we are supposed to do, for that you need basic understanding. So this is the class meant for preparing, understanding about, to know about our Sampradaya, especially about our Guru Varga, and more importantly about our Gurudeva, what he specifically came to give to us, like that. Okay, so for that I am bringing this scripture now to augment, and that is what you are really seeing. So what you are seeing here is, now I am going to switch to this scripture. Just 1 second. I am going to be opening that book in the PDF form. Okay, so I can actually go shuttle back and forth actually, because, okay, just if you bear 1 minute with me. Okay, yeah, here you go. This is a Vaishnava Siddhanta Mala. I'm going to zoom it there for you. And okay.
You also have copies of
you have copies? Okay. Oh, you have copies. Very good. Very good. Very nice. Good. Because, yeah, that's nice. But even then, I can actually share the text also for you. Like, for example, look at here. See, I can actually share the text also, so you don't have to even look at there. Okay, we'll take some questions there, some basic questions. Let me zoom a little bit. Yeah, we have all the technology, so we should be able to make use of all these things now. Yeah, see, okay. Now, what you are seeing is chapter 1. Okay. Question is, what order has our supremely worshipable Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given to us? Okay. Remember why? Now we are just going a little advanced. We are all under the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, belonging to a Sampradaya, which also I will show to you, which Sampradaya. And the question is, what order has our supremely worshipful Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu given to us? What order has given to us? His order is that we very carefully follow the instructions concerning the 9 philosophical conclusions that Sriman Madhvacharya passed to us through the Guru Parampara. Now I am switching to the other one, that is the Parampara. You see that now? So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what exactly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give to us is Radha Krishna. He is really bringing the realm of Radha Krishna down to us. When that happens only in this particular Kali Yuga, Danya Kali. Otherwise, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not come. Other Kali Yugas, he will not come. Only in this Kali Yuga that Bhagavan Swayam Krishna's details are coming down. Through whom? You see six Goswamis are there. 6 Goswamis, right? Goswamis are there. So this is the question is related to this. And how the 6 Goswamis, what they have really given to us, we have to follow. Right? This is basically what it is. But again, where exactly Sampradaya wise? Because even though there are lot of Sampradayas are there, 4 Sampradayas are there, in our Sampradaya is the one which is coming through Madhvacharya. So in Madhvacharya, Sampradaya is coming, and in that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attached. Why? Because as per the Padma Purana, there can be only 4 Sampradayas. So Mahaprabhu, even though he could have started 5th Sampradaya, he did not want to violate his own rule he set up. So he said, okay, I am going to choose the best of all these 4 Sampradaya, and he chose our Madhvacharya Sampradaya because all the other 3 Sampradayas, Lakshmi Narayana is the goal for them. Supreme. But Madhvacharya Sampradaya, no, Bhagavan Krishna is the supreme. However, their goal was to reach Vaikunda only. Okay, only difference was Madhvacharya line, they say Param is actually Param, Supreme Bhagavan is Krishna. So because of that, you got the correct concept. I am going to take, in your parampara, I will attach myself. That is why our Sampradaya is, what is that called? Sri Brahma, because first it comes through the Brahma level. Okay, now look at this particular, okay, here you go, slide. Okay, see that now? So Krishna is the origin. Lord Krishna is the origin of all. 4 Sampradayas are coming. See that? The leftmost is Lord Brahma, then Sri Lakshmi, then Lord Shiva, and then 4 Kumaras. Sanat Kumara, there are 4 names there. Kumara Sampradaya. Lord Brahma is a creation god, right? Under him is Madhvacharya. So Madhvacharya's guru is what? Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, who got what? All the Sampradaya line from Krishna that way. So from Lord Brahma comes to Madhvacharya, and in the Madhvacharya line, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attached. So our Sampradaya is called Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Sampradaya. Why Gaudiya is coming there? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Gauranga, Gaudiya. Okay, this Sampradaya will be only there for 10,000 years. Because that happens only in this Kali Yuga. That is why he is temporarily attaching instead of starting another 5th one. And then after 10,000 years, this whole Goloka Vrindavan knowledge will be finished. Nobody will know anything about Goloka. They will know only about Vaikunta. It has been the same way for so many millions of years, like that only. Beyond Vaikunta, nothing was known. Nothing was known in the sense, it might be there in the Vedas, hidden and here and there, but nothing explicitly came out. Only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came and he gave this, and again it is going to stop. Okay? You understand that? Now, so Narayana, so all the 4 Sampradayas, their goals are same. Their goal is same. Vaikunda only. Only because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we are now seeing about Golaka Vrindavan and all those. Okay? Now come back. Coming back to the reading now. So here, for the question, the answer that Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given is, the order is to, what that? We have to follow the instructions and conclusion of the 9 philosophical conclusions. Okay? We will come to that. What is the 9 conclusion? Don't worry. Then what is Guru Parambara? Guru Parambara is, okay, so this is how the Guru Parambara, right? Again going back to the thing, what is the Guru Parambara again? It started with Krishna only. So because it started with Krishna, Adi Guru is Krishna only. That he delegates to Balaram, who is Nityananda Prabhu, who came as Nityananda Prabhu. So Adi Guru is Krishna. Right? You have some Ashtakam also, like Krishna Ashtakam. So he is the Adi Guru. And that is the original spiritual master is Krishna. Of all spiritual masters is Bhagavan himself. Then he mercifully instructed Lord Brahma. We are now talking about our Guru, our Parambara. He mercifully instructed Lord Brahma, the original disciple, Adi Kavi. Kavi is another name for poet also. Why? He was the one, Brahma also sang the Brahma Samhita, 100 chapters. Only one chapter we have, 5th chapter. Out of the 100 chapters, only one chapter. Man, everything is gone. Adi Kavi is who? The Brahma is Adi Kavi. On the philosophical truth concerning himself, that means he was teaching Lord Brahma when he was about to start the creation here. What? Lord Brahma is a secondary creator. Remember, Krishna actually wished to do the creation Leela. Mahavishnu picked that up and executed the order by providing all the elements, Prakriti, and then after that, what happens again? Now the Vishnu, this Garbhodasai Vishnu, then brings up these, taken one Brahmanda, and in that Brahmanda is Brahma is coming. That Brahma, when he was manifested, he was wondering what to do. Everywhere it's all dark and dark and dark. And that time he was instructing. Who instructing? That Bhagavan Krishna instructed. That is why he is talking about Krishna. First verse in the 5th chapter is Ishvara Parama Krishna. He is not saying Ishvara Parama Vishnu or Ishvara Parama Narayana, Ishvara Parama Mahavishnu, nothing like that. He is saying Ishvara Parama is Krishna only. Isn't it? So because Krishna was the one who gave the knowledge, that is why he is Adi Guru. Okay. And who was his first disciple? Adi Kavi. Kavi also means poet. He was the one who composed this Brahma Samhita, which we are reading. Anyway, so that's all about whom? About absolute truth, which is Bhagavan. These truths were in turn successfully taught to Brahma to Narada Muni, because we are not putting all this thing. I have a lineage completely, so detailed. So from Krishna comes then to Brahma, then Brahma teaches to Narada, because Narada, who is Narada? Who came from his mind. It's all spiritual dimension, see? Narada Muni, and then he really transcends. So Brahma to Narada, and by Narada to Sri Veda Vyasa. This Veda Vyasa or Vyasa Deva is the one who compiled, who actually organized the 4 Vedas. In fact, we have only 6% of the original Vedas. Everything is gone. Even that 6% of the original Vedas we are not able to study, so he divided into four parts. Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharvana. And he put one disciple for each one of them. See, look at how complicated it is. Very big knowledge. Okay, now, and finally from Veda Vyasa to Madhvacharya. And in that line, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took. So, this such instruction received by the disciple from the spiritual master are called directives, received through the disciplic succession. That is why we call Guru Parambara. Guru Parambara. This is the Guru Parambara. And the instructions coming from the Parambara is the Upadesha. Upadesha means instruction. So all the instructions that are coming in our Parambara are called Guru Parampara Upadesha. Understand now? Now, what are those 9 philosophical conclusions? Then we will stop here. Okay, we don't want to make this true because children are there, so it is very tough. But this is probably children may not be able to understand everything. But I am just going to just read it for now, and then we can continue from the next class. Now, what are the 9 philosophical conclusions preached by Sri Madhvacharya? These 9 are called 9 tattvas. Tattvas means philosophical truths. Truth. 1. Bhagavan alone is the supreme and absolute truth. Only Bhagavan is there. We are all came from Bhagavan only. We are a part. I mean, it's like a big fire and small fire spark is us. That is number 1. Bhagavan is the supreme and absolute truth. He is that God. That is the question that people are asking. Who is that God? That I told. All the Shastra says it is pointing to Ishvara Parama Krishna. Second, he is the supreme object of knowledge described throughout the entire Vedas. Of all the knowledge, that is the only knowledge. Everything comes from him only. There are 2 kinds of knowledge. Parajnana. Parajnana means about the spiritual truths. And Jadajnana. Jadajnana means material knowledge. That is what we are studying in the schools and colleges and making degrees, PhDs, these, everything, doctorate, so many things. But where are you going? You are going in the wrong direction. Jadajnana, no use. As I mentioned, in this world, this Jada is like this. Another dimension is that Jada will be different. 14 planetary systems are there in our own Brahmanda, which are all material world only. Even in the material world, we are not able to see another dimension. See, ghosts and ancestors, they are in the Bhuvarloka. So I told you. This is Bhuloka, then Bhuvarloka. They are there, but they can see us. We cannot see them. See, the ghosts can see us. That's why they sometimes come and then give problem also, come in the dream. Your dead ancestor also come in the dream. It's because they can come down. Not a problem. But anyway, so all the knowledge, the supreme object of knowledge is what? All Vedas and Upanishads, everything, whatever that you are talking about, all the things about Bhagavan only. And then the third one is, these all the universes are real. Satyam. Satya means real. But whereas the Sunyavadis, they will say this is unreal. They say, no. It is temporary. It is subjected to dissolution. It will be annihilated. So that is a different thing. But it is real. We are seeing. It's all Bhagavan's Srishti Leela. How can you say Bhagavan's Srishti Leela is nothing? Oh, you are seeing something? Yes, I am seeing all this. Oh, no, there is nothing existing like this. No, he is lying. That's lying. What it meant was, what the Shastras meant was, these are all not real, mean these are not spiritual. These will be subjected to dissolution, and that is what actually they meant. Okay. Now, fourth, the following 5 types of differences are all true. The differences between God and the individual spirit soul, the difference between the soul and another soul, the differences between the soul and matter, the difference between God and matter, and the difference between matter and matter are all real. Okay, now this is little tough, right? Now if we see here, okay, not that one. Okay, let me see what, oh, I thought I put it. Okay, let me just quickly go through that. Here you go. Yes, see the picture? There are 3 things involved here. Bhagavan, left side Jivas, and then the other side is all universes, matter. Jada means matter, all right? Stones and pebbles and this and wood, this, everything, they're all matter. Now, they're actually by permutation or in the combinations, You can have three ways that you can actually combine these two. 3 ways. 3C2 is 3. Okay, it's like a combinator. If you are actually mathematics wise. But it is not only 3 things there. I will tell you more. Okay, what are the differences that he is talking about? The difference between Bhagavan and the soul, yes, they are different. And then also difference between Bhagavan and the matter. Yes, matter is that's Jada Sakti. This is the Jiva Sakti. But there is difference between Bhagavan and Jiva and Bhagavan and Prakriti. Also we have difference between what? The Jiva and the Jada. 3. But where are the other 3? What are the other 3 kinds of differences coming? Right? You saw there are 5 differences. What are the other 2? One jiva to another jiva is also there is difference. So it's a loop there. Jiva to jiva also difference is there. You are also jiva, but I am a jiva, but there is difference. You like something and I like something else too. My liking is different, your liking is different. Your journey is different, my journey is different. I may want to go, one may want to go to heaven, another one does not want to go to heaven, he wants to go to Vaikuntha maybe, or sometimes something like that. So, difference is there between jiva to jiva. That is the 4th. What is the 5th one? Difference between matter to matter. That means there are 192 periodical elements, I think. I don't know. I forgot. Even though I was a chemical engineer to start with, my bachelor. But even now everything is gone. So in the periodic element table, if you see, there are a lot of elements. They are different. Because the atoms, the combinations of atoms is different. So the characteristics and the behavior, everything is different. You understand now? This is how the 5 differences are coming now. Okay? Now getting back. Okay, now you understood now. Okay, anyway, we'll go in detail. These are all fundamentals that you have to understand before we go. And, because why I chose this one was, this is what is the instruction coming in our parampara. This is important to understand before we really proceed to really further into sadhana, engage in sadhana. Yes. Hare Krishna. Okay. Yes. Now, okay, we'll quickly finish it out because. Oh, okay. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So anything that you see, anything? Oh, time is already.
We understand. No, we understand. Go ahead. Go on.
Okay. Oh, you want to hear more? Okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll just this one another 4 more are there, 4 or 5. Then we will do that. Okay, all right. So the 5th one is the individual soul, that is jiva, by nature is a servant to Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Jivera Swarupahaya Krishnera Nitya Dasa. But all the other dasa, even Vaikuntha also, they are all dasa, but they are not the 100% dasa. They want to enjoy themselves. So there is a fault there actually. This is not the perfect dasyam. Perfect dasyam can be there only in the Goloka Vrindavan. Basically, above Vaikuntha is the place. So that is why it's not saying Jivera Swarupahaya Vishnera Dasa or Narayana Dasa or with Brahma Dasa, nothing like that. What is saying? Krishna Dasa is a real nature. But all the other dasya are contaminated dasya. It's not pure. Understand? So that's the fifth. Here, very important, the Lord Krishna. The individual soul is the eternal servant of Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Actually, that can be realized only when we go to the highest realm. It will be pure bhakti. Why our Gurudev is telling pure bhakti, pure bhakti? Our website is also called purebhakti.com, and I am also shouting pure bhakti, pure bhakti. Because that's what our Gurudev has specifically came to give. Whereas, even the Madhvacharya Sampradaya can give only Vaikunta, which is not the perfect nature of a jiva to achieve. Because that jiva has a desire to enjoy, be happy there with themselves. But whereas in the high dimension, they do not care about their own happiness. They will care only about Krishna's happiness. Okay? Yes, I have talked about this in many, many classes. 6. All souls are graded differently according to their position as either liberated or conditioned. This is the big thing that when we go in the detail, of course, look at here. The souls are purposely, made to be in difference. But they can be broadly categorized into 2 cases. One is Nitya Jivas. Like they are eternally liberated. They never came down here. They always wanted to serve the Lord. All the time from the beginning. Of course, in the spiritual dimension, there is no beginning. All the way. This is very difficult to understand sometimes. Yes, they are liberated. They are eternally liberated. No desire of their own pleasure. They will never even come down to Vaikunta or Kailash or down. No, nothing. They are always there in Goloka and Goloka Vrindavan. Then, the second case is Baddha Jiva. Baddha Jivas means they are conditioned. But then in Baddha Jiva, like all those who have come to the material world are Baddha Jivas. But in the Baddha Jivas also there are 2 categories. One is sadhana. By sadhana, they can really go back. Other ones, they don't care about getting back to Krishna. They are Nitya Baddha. The in between is a sadhana baddha, in the sense, by doing sadhana, wow, that is what we are going to be actually talking about. Because whoever have come here, except our Goswamis and all high, our gopis or manjari, they are eternally there. They are Nitya Siddhas. But then we are not that way. So, are we Baddhas? We are Baddhas. But there is a category that these Baddha Jivas can become sadhana Siddha Bhakta. Sadhana, when we do sadhana, then we can go back. That is the provision we have. Any conditioned Baddha Jiva can really, by doing sadhana, they can go back. Okay, this is the refinement of, there is a facility that we can also go back, but we need to sadhana. But to do sadhana, that was the class just today. Today, just about few hours back, we had the class. What was that? Sadhana cannot be done without a guru's diksha. Without getting diksha from a guru, you cannot do sadhana. Whatever sadhana you are thinking of doing is no sadhana. That is why the guru is coming into picture. Okay, so that class is very important class. I will send the link also for those who could not attend. Then the 7th one is liberation, means to attain the lotus feet of Bhagavan. There are confusion about the moksha. When those who want to go to Vaikunta, their moksha is different. So here moksha really means is lotus feet of Bhagavan only. Who is that Bhagavan? Bhagavan is Lord Krishna. Remember Madhvacharya, Bhagavan is Lord Krishna, not Narayana. Narayana is an expansion. So So that is what is actually real moksha. We even say that we do not even want moksha. This is higher. Because remember, this is the thing coming from Madhvacharya's line. But we have refinement by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, moksha also you throw it out. Okay, that's a refinement. Okay, but this is the thing we are going through. First pass. Bhakti, 8 is Bhakti or worship of Bhagavan is the only cause of liberation. That means, clearly says, suppose somebody is becoming a jnani, just by doing jnani or Vivekananda or something, there are jnanis. They cannot really get liberation. Their so-called liberation is a temporary arrangement in the Siddhaloka, so that they really just immerse in the Brahman. Jacuzzi, I used to call it the jacuzzi. Oh, good, I don't have to worry about anything. No miseries, nothing. But the problem is Krishna is going to kick you out again. Why? Because your nature is a seva of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa Gaya, Krishnara Nityadasa. So that is, so you are temporarily only sleeping. This is not the place to sleep. Go out. It just kicks out. So this place where if they don't have bhakti, if they have only jnana or anything, any mystic power or anything, they may attain something called Brahman or somewhere. It is not liberation. It is temporarily a stage, not real liberation. Only bhakti can give the real liberation, which is the liberation. That's again a refinement Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is applying. Remember, we are not Mattvas that way. We are Brahma Gaudiya Brahma Mattva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Gaudiya has now coming and overpowering with some refinement. That is what difference what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. So this is Madhvacharya. Bhakti or devotion, without devotion you cannot even get liberation. That means even a jnani, without even, they have some bhakti, they cannot get any liberation. It's not possible. Then 9. Pratyaksha, direct perception. Anumana, logical inference. And Sabda, statements of the Vedic scriptures, are the 3 types of evidence. Evidence means truth. How will you know the truth? One is from Pratyaksha, means I am seeing something. Yes, I am seeing. Oh, yeah. Okay, this is the way. This is green color. So this the color of the leaf is green. So that's Pratyaksha. Anumana means what is Anumana? Logical inference means what? There is some smoke coming. There is smoke coming. That means there is a fire. But I am not seeing fire. Fire is inside. But only outside the smoke is coming. Fire must be there. That's because of the logical inference. The Anumana. Then what is the third? Sabda. Sabda means actually sound. This sound is not the sound we are talking about. This sound is spiritual vibration. That is where it's called Akashic records. Everything that has happened or happening, everything is all there. All the scriptures, everything is there, all there. Vedas, everything is there. And that comes down through the rishis. And that is what is called Sabda. Vedas are like that. So these are the 3 ways you know the truth of these 3. Pratyaksha has limitation. We cannot use it for the fully. Anumana also has problem. There may be something, like it may not be fire. It may not be fire. Maybe something else is just somebody may be really just making smoke without a fire. That's also possible. So then, but Sabda will never be wrong. So of all these things, we have to rely only on the Vedic scriptures. That's what it means. We'll go through that. Okay.